Hi, this is Dina for Splitcoaststampers. In this video, I've got a very simple technique to share, and I've used this as a step in other techniques before, but I felt like stencil embossing needed its own tutorial today. I'm going to create a sandwich for my die cutting machine first. I've got my base plate followed by a silicone embossing mat. Then my cardstock face up. And this stencil on top of that. And then I'm going to put my cutting plate on top. And this machine is the Crossover 2 and it has adjustable rollers. So rather than shims, I'm going to raise my roller to a setting of 9. On your machine, you'll experiment at this stage with shims to get the right thickness for your sandwich. If you have a big shot, you will start with your multi-purpose platform on tab 1. Create the sandwich like I did here, and then add 1 or 2 cardstock shims before you roll through. Regardless of your machine, the order of the pieces that I showed here is important. So embossing pad, cardstock, stencil, and then your plates on top and bottom, and shims as needed. So here is my embossed cardstock, and you can see that the stencil design is pressed into the cardstock deep enough that you can use either the front or the back of the panel for your card. And you can even use this as is on your card. You can do this with white or colored cardstock and even with patterned cardstock. If you use patterned cardstock, you'll want your pattern side up when you create your sandwich, so remember that. I'm going to use a sanding block here to reveal the pattern of the stencil. If you use solid colored cardstock that has a white core or a white back, this will work as well. If you're using white or solid colored cardstock, you can use it as is, and I like that look. Sometimes you just want to add some texture to a background or open space on your card. You can ink up the background either with blender brushes or sponges or direct to paper with an ink pad like I'm doing here. And remember, you can use either side of the cardstock depending on the look that you want. Here are a few samples that I made, and you can find all the product information for each card in the Stencil Embossing Technique Spotlight Gallery over on Splitcoaststampers.com. This one was left pretty plain except for some white accents. This is the background that I inked, and I added a few extra accents with a Copic marker. This card was made with duplex cardstock, which is white on the back, so I was able to sand the raised paw print slightly to reveal a little of the white layer underneath. And then this is the pattern cardstock that I sanded with this sanding block. The same technique, but a different look with the pattern of the paper showing through the stenciling. So lots of options for different looks. I hope you'll share your backgrounds in the gallery, and I thank you so much for watching.